What's going on, everybody? So as promised, Finance with Fabio is about to get started right now. Before I jump into anything like that though, I want to give a big shout out to my barber Sauce. I've been cutting my hair with him for about 1.5 years now, and I don't regret it. So if you're ever in the Bossier City, Shreveport, or even stationed at Barstow Air Force Base, Louisiana, I highly recommend that you go to the Bossier Parish Mall. Look for Deuce's Barber Society, soon to be called Boss Man Society. Ask for Sauce, and you'll get a $5 discount if you tell them Florez sent you. All right, guys, so let's get down to business. Let's talk about why everybody's really here today, right? We're here to talk about finances. We're here to talk about money. Ask yourself, am I saving what I should be saving? Am I budgeting at least monthly, right? Am I paying myself first before I pay anybody else? These are all questions that hopefully you guys can answer by the end of my video. So the purpose of this video is mainly to, just kind of share some of my best practices and what I do to set up my finances so that next month I'm more financially stable than I was last month. You know what I mean? There's a couple ways that you can do this, and I'll be talking all about that. Before I dive in though, I want to make sure that everybody understands I'm not sponsored by Fudget in any way, shape, or form. So it's just one of the best apps out there on the App Store that I use personally to set up my finances. All right, guys, so let's talk some big facts, right? So your average person in the US is satisfied as long as they can save 10% of their monthly income. So ask yourself right now, how much am I saving? Are you saving 10%, 20%, 30%, or are you even, saving 50% of your monthly income? Now, depending on how much your monthly income, because if you only make $1,000 and you're saving 50%, you're saving $500. I mean, that's really good. Most definitely really good, right? But if you're making $4,000, let's say your monthly income is $4,000. What this means is that you're only saving $400 in a month. If you're consistent for 12 months, you'll be left with $4,800, $4,800, right? Now, look at the big picture. 10 years down the line, you've saved $4,800 a year. You're left with $48,000 after 10 years of saving $400 consistently for 10 years, right? Now, some of you guys might be saying like, wow, that's a lot. That works for me. I'd be satisfied with that. But you guys are missing the big picture. Why be satisfied with only $48,000 when I can tell you that you can be saving and you can have $120,000 after 10 years, right? So me, man, 10 years is a lot. So if I can get there quicker, I want to get there quicker. If I can get to that $48,000 mark quicker, then I want to get there quicker. One of the ways that you can do this is you got to ask yourself, do I even pay myself? So what does that mean, right? Like, what do you mean, Fabio? What do you mean, do I pay myself, man? Obviously I get paid. So what this means is, think of your paycheck as a cake. When you receive that cake, it is not a full cake. Why? Because you have already paid federal taxes, Medicare, state taxes if applicable. You have all these taxes, all these deductions already that, your paycheck's not complete already. So, you gotta feed the IRS first. Unfortunately, you gotta feed them, right? So you gotta give them the first piece of cake, even though it's your paycheck. But the second piece of cake, who should that go to? How big should it be? So that's what I mean, you should pay yourself. You gotta set aside a set amount, whether it be 10%, 20%, 30%, as much as you can. And how I determine the percentage is by using Fudget, right? So that's how I determine how big of my slice of my paycheck I'm gonna take, if that makes sense. All right, guys, so welcome to my finance app folder. For the purpose of this, so we're gonna go ahead and dive right into Fudget. Fudget's a budgeting app that can be found on the App Store. I believe it's available on the Android store as well. If anybody would like to pretty much confirm that, please leave it a comment below. And as you guys can see, I have a lot of budgets, right? Each one means something differently to me. It really just depends on what I was trying to do with that budget at that time, or currently, or etc. For this purpose of the video though, I've already created a demo 1 and a demo 2. So demo 1, I just wanted to show you guys how it worked. So let's say your monthly income is $4,325.50. These are just rough figures. What I like to do with this app is actually round everything. So let's say my monthly income was $4,325 with 50 cents. I would just say $4,300. If my rent is $989, I'm just gonna call that $1,000, and so on. So car insurance, let's say it was $257, I'd round it up to $260. So some of you guys might say, yo, Fabio, like, why do you do that, man? Well, I do it because if you look at the bottom right hand corner where, I'm bouncing between paid and balance, this is the total balance that, according to Fudget, you're going to have after you've paid all your bills, right? And I listed like a whole bunch of other bills because, other people might have more bills. And like I said, this is just a demo anyway, so it's not even accurate. But according to Fudget, after you pay all your bills, like the ones that we have the amount in, such as the rent, car insurance, electricity, then you should have $2,980 after paying all these bills. But keep in mind that we've rounded all these figures up. Therefore, that means that at the end of the month, once you actually follow your budget accordingly, like we have done here, you're actually going to have probably $3,000, right? Why? Because just in your monthly income, you shorted it about $25. So if you add the $25 back onto that $2,980, you're already sitting on $3,000. So I like to do that just because you can never over budget. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, now let's get into demo 2. So demo 2, I try to make it a little bit more realistic. We're still going to be rounding all these figures. I didn't even catch this right here. So let's say 1,012, let's say 1,020. So this could very well be somebody's budget out there. As you guys can see, I try to make it as realistic as possible, from rent to car payment, streaming platforms, whatever it is that you guys have. And then, maybe music platforms, your haircut, groceries, whatever. As you guys can see, I even included a miscellaneous expense. All right, guys. So as you guys can see, I went ahead and changed the miscellaneous expense from $400 to $600. This is just because I'm trying to keep it as real as possible. Keep in mind that this could very well be somebody's budget out there, because I try to include, all the bills that most people will have. I understand that, some of us, we might have more than one streaming platform, music, cable might be higher, etc. I mean, I know I do. But so your miscellaneous expense, the way I like to describe this is an amount of money that you plan on blowing in a month. Whether it be to a birthday party that you have to take a gift to, plus all the, club entry fees, eating at McDonald's, eating at restaurants, movie nights with your boys and stuff like that. Point is, by the end of the month of everything that you did, you blew $600. With all this said and done, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you will see that you can actually still save, and you will still have $1,535. All right, so keep in mind, these are all your bills, plus what you plan on blowing. So if this is true, and you can save $1,535, then we take that divided by your monthly income, $4,300, you get 0.356, and so on. This means that you are capable of saving 35 to 36% of your monthly income. Just that right there proves that you are capable of saving 3 to 4 times the normal person in the U.S. All right, guys, so this is where I actually start smiling, because if we actually start running numbers, right, let's say that for 12 months, you actually are blowing $600 every single month, and all you can save is $1,535. Let's take that, times it by a year. You get $18,420 is what you can still save at the end of the year. Now let's take that, let's look far ahead, times that by 10 years. You can possibly have $184,200 in 10 years, and that's assuming that you blow $600 every single month for the next 10 years. Now keep in mind that this does not include promotions, but it also doesn't include emergencies that can happen, or even, adding a new family member to the family, right? But at the same time, the reason that I actually like rounding these figures up is because of things like that, right? Because that number can vary. It can go up, it can go down, but it's very close and accurate, okay? So this is definitely why I like fudge it, and this is definitely how I pretty much determine how much I'm going to pay myself. I guarantee you that about 75% of you guys are actually feeding yourself last. Your paycheck comes in, you pay your barber, you pay your streaming, entertainment platforms, you pay your cable, internet, rent, you pay all these people before you pay yourself. So once you're done paying all your bills, I guarantee you guys that most of you guys, whatever you have left, that's what you conform with. You say, well, that's what I have, so I guess that's what I have to spend on myself this month. Shouldn't be like that, man. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't have to be like that. And if you guys just budget appropriately, then it won't be like that. Why feed other people bigger slices before you feed yourself, right? So does this mean that you have to give up things that you may or may not want? Maybe. It really just depends on your monthly income and what you're looking to save, and what's gonna satisfy you. Because me, as long as I can save about 30%, then I'm satisfied. Why? Because 30% can get me to my 10-year goal and where I want to be. At any given time, I see that 30% is not going to get me to my 10-year goal. I need to start, saving 40%. I'm going to start looking for areas where, I might have to start giving up my wants, right? Not my needs, because I need a roof over my head. I need food to feed myself. I need my car to get to places, right? So these are not areas that you're going to want to give up. But let's say my haircut, right? I spend $50 on my haircut in a month. Why? Because I go every 2 weeks, $25, that's $50 in a month, right? So I don't need 2 haircuts, but I want 2 haircuts in a month, you feel me? So sometimes you do have to do that little small sacrifice. Some of you guys are probably saying, yo, I'm living like paycheck to paycheck, man. Like one paycheck comes in and it's gone. The next one comes in and it's gone. So this is where you need to evaluate what is it that you're spending on, because it could be even down to your groceries. Like, okay, let's say that you really cannot spare $1. Are you using the money that you are spending wisely? Such as like, yo, if you're spending $180 a month on groceries, but $180 is purely on microwavable food, just like quick pop-ins in the microwave or oven, then you're not really setting yourself up for success, because these things come and go like that. But if you invest your money in, say, things like rice and beans and, milk, things that last for more than, 2 weeks to a month, then come next check, come next month, you don't have to worry about these foods that you invested in, right? Because they were long-term foods, like such as rice, If you guys get paid bi-weekly, then on the first paycheck, you can buy rice. On the second one, you don't have to worry about going back for rice because you already have it. Depending on, the size of rice that you get, then, it's pretty much going to determine on how long it lasts you, right? As well as you got to keep in mind, like, the size of your family and stuff like that. Those are variables that are going to vary. But the thing is, things of this nature can help you get just one step further to your financial freedom goal, right? So while I'm on that note, going back to why I have so many cars, right? So let's dive into why I've decided to keep all the cars that I've had, right? Because if I really wanted to, I could have just let these accounts close and then been done with it, right? So first of all, man, hey, shout out to Toomey, man. Y'all go check out their wallets, man. They're expensive, but believe me, they're worth it, man. Them wallets, y'all, man, be pulling out y'all wallets, man, looking raggedy as hell. They're durable, they're tight, they have different designs. Mine is leather mixed with like ballistic. That's unique. That's why I liked it. But check them out. They got hella warranty, which is why I like it. So, man, look, too many cards, man. I'm only 20 years old, right? Well, 3 of these are credit cards, right? So I have 3 credit cards, 2 savings accounts, and 2 debit accounts. So you guys are probably like, what the hell? Why you got so many cards, man? So let's put the credit cards aside, man, because that all those do is spend, man. You can't really manage no money in there. All right, so I'm left with 3 cards, right? So I got 1 saving, 1 debit and saving, and then 1 debit. So what I like to do is I like to categorize these cards by, their funds and what they're meant for. So let's say this one right here, this is my food money card, man. This was like the best idea that I ever came up with. So I'm military, so they actually divide my allowances. Like, it's weird. On my actual pay stub, they divide my allowances, but it just hits my account all at once. So I'm just like you guys. Like, you get a monthly or a bi-weekly. I get paid monthly, right? That's just how I chose to set it up. So one paycheck, and I know what I got to pretty much last for the whole month. What I do is I divide my allowances. So I say I'm gonna send $300 for only groceries this month. So say this card had a balance of 0, right? Well, now it doesn't, because, let's say I sent the $300 over. Now this card has a balance of $300. But let's say this month I only spend $180 on groceries. What this means is I have $120 left over, and now it's time for me to get paid again. Therefore, I'm going to send another $300. Now I have a total of $420. I'm above budget. There are some months where you might have to do a bigger grocery and you might, use the full $300. But as long as you don't use more than the $300, then either your card is either going to maintain the same balance or it's going to keep growing. This one right here is just a savings account that I've been, playing with. It's called Vero. It's on the App Store, actually. It's an electronic bank. I don't know, not gonna recommend it yet. I have nothing against it either though, but I just haven't had it long enough. If you guys are interested in it, I'll go ahead and drop the link in the description. Again, it's an electronic bank. So it's on a test trial with me right now, but pretty much they advertise that they give you back a higher annual percentage yield. So that's why I pretty much got into it, because again, it's just a savings account. But moving forward, this is my direct deposit, man. This is that central account. This is where all the money comes to, right? This is where that direct deposit EFT hits. And this is where I disperse the wealth. So this is where I pretty much, this is where I also pay myself. I pay a certain percentage to myself on this card. Pretty much I know how much I have to have in here at all times to cover my fixed bills, because this is also where all the auto pay comes out of, right? Rent, car payment, car insurance, electricity, internet, all the fixed bills, right? At the same time, this is where I have another savings account kind of linked to my debit account. But I don't really think of it so much as a savings account, since I already pay myself in my actual debit account. I think of it more as like my emergency fund. So emergency funds are always important to have, guys. Like, not kidding, man. Experts recommend that you have at least 3 months of, what your bills total to. So the total of your bills in 1 month, times that by 3. That's what you should have at least in your emergency fund, right? In case of an emergency. All right, guys. So with all this said and done, I really hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit a thumbs up. If you guys have any of your own strategies or apps that you guys use out there, go ahead and, drop them in the comments, in the comment section below. If you guys are looking for anything that I talked about, whether it be the Tumi wallet, budget, or anything like that, go ahead and look in the description box. I've linked all the links below. I really do appreciate all you guys, and just hit that subscribe button so that you guys can be, just kind of attentive of my new content coming out. I'll probably be making a video on my military career and, my perspective on it thus far. Thank you, guys.